Hello. Hi, y'all. I'm Dr. Lindsay Matthews. I am the founder and CEO of BIRTHFIT. And in previous videos, you've heard about birth outcomes, you've heard about our lying in period, and then you've heard about the BIRTHFIT basics. Today, we are chatting about BIRTHFIT postpartum training, the official BIRTHFIT postpartum training. And you can do this as a one-off program or it's part of the whole postpartum package. But the BIRTHFIT postpartum training is when we start to increase the volume, add load. We start to incorporate some progressive overload type of training and tempo work. And it might look a little more like training like you're used to or like you expected. So what I want to draw your attention to is the timeline of this. Lying in, first 30 days, first 4 weeks. Then month 2, we start the BIRTHFIT basics. These are the foundational poses and movements that you need in order to start adequate or sufficiently into the BIRTHFIT postpartum training. Now, as we talked about with the BIRTHFIT basics, you can do that in 1 month, every day for 1 month, or space them out every other day, and that takes 2 months. So depending on how you approach the BIRTHFIT basics, that will influence your start date for the BIRTHFIT postpartum training. So you might start BIRTHFIT postpartum training, excuse me, on month 3, like the start of month 3, or you might start it on the start of month 4. It really is whatever timeline works for you. The thing that matters is going in the sequential order. Going in order from breathing and nourishing your body with foods and breath to the basics and then into BIRTHFIT postpartum training. We don't want to add dynamic movement or big loads or a lot of volume until we have built a solid base. And that starts with breath and nourishment of your body. Slow is fast in the postpartum period. And if you need to write that on your bathroom mirror or put a sticky note somewhere, I really want you to embrace that motto, slow is fast, for the entire first year postpartum. Now, our BIRTHFIT postpartum training is 12 weeks, 3 months. So if you start it, at the end of 3 months? Yeah. It's like, how long is it? It will take you through month 5 or month 6 or month 7, depending on when you start this. That's great. That's okay. You have intentional training for your postpartum journey for at least through month 5 if you're working with us at BIRTHFIT. Sometimes month 6 if you need a little more time. Sometimes month 7, sometimes month 8. But don't worry, after the BIRTHFIT postpartum training program, we got you, and that is the B community. Now, the BIRTHFIT postpartum training program is, base level general strength and conditioning. This is ideal for anyone. It is not sport specific, and you need a base level of general fitness in order to go back into your sport specific training, whether that be track, whether that be swimming, volleyball, soccer, CrossFit, whatever it is you do, triathlons. You've got to have a solid base. And I promise you, your body is still healing from whatever birth outcome you had, whether it was unmedicated vaginal birth or a major abdominal surgery like a cesarean birth. Month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, postpartum, still healing. We need to introduce things gradually. We need to introduce load. We need to introduce impact. We need to introduce more volume gradually so that we learn these different thresholds of our body so that our body can adapt and become resilient and then be able to take on more so that we can build our capacity. It does no good to jump back into dynamic movements or sport-specific movements, especially if they're one-side dominant early on in postpartum. I promise that will set you up for some sort of musculoskeletal injury, at least in a year, 2 years to come. Establish a solid base, balance the side to sides, understand that your breath is the most foundational piece of it all. Then you build upon that with the basics, and then the BIRTHFIT postpartum training. Everything we do is for the core. Every movement, every pose is a core movement because it involves your diaphragm and your pelvic floor and your breath. All of that is needed for a strong and dynamic core. So, after the BIRTHFIT basics, you will start the BIRTHFIT postpartum training program.